Good morning, world. I'm just popping on to review this fragrance brand that I recently discovered. It is called Harlem Perfume Company. It seemed right up my alley just because I'm a huge fan of fragrances like Mason Margiela's Replica Jazz Club and Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. Also, if you've ever tried the Besame Decades of Perfumes line, they do, or at least they used to do 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and I believe they had a 1910s. Anyway, so this perfume brand I discovered a couple weeks ago and decided to get the perfume sampler kit, and I was very pleasantly surprised. It's definitely completely unisex, absolutely gorgeous, well blended fragrances. I apologize for the camera shaking a little bit. I suppose I should probably invest in a tripod or something. Also, I have a little bit of a cough. But anyway, today, today we're going to be reviewing the. Oh, so I want to start with probably my favorite, which is Speakeasy. This smells like it smells like other things that I've smelled, but I can't quite place it. It's very leathery, slightly smoky, and boozy. Absolutely beautiful. And in this little card, it does have the breakdown. See if it'll focus. Very beautiful. Keynotes, you can see here. Maybe it'll focus. No, it's not going to focus. But there is smoked incense, cardamom, pimento berry, saffron, licorice, plum blossom, tobacco leaves, Palo Santo, patchouli, vanilla, and dark chocolate. And it really does seem to conjure up images of like a 1920s speakeasy. And I can't speak from experience. I'm not that old, but it definitely transports me to a time and place that I've never been. It smells vintage without being overly vintage, if that makes sense. It's like a modern take on a vintage scent. Absolutely beautiful. The next scent that we have is Duke, which I think this is the one that reminded me a little bit of, this this reminds me a lot of Jazz Club by Replica, Mason Margiela Replica, but it's a little bit more leather forward. It is boozy. It has that booziness and smokiness that Jazz Club has, but it seems quite a bit more refined, in my opinion. I don't know. I will always love Jazz Club, but I definitely feel like I need to add this to my collection. And I will say one of the things I like about this company too is these fragrances are inspired by jazz artists from Harlem. Some of them are, at least. And this one is inspired by Duke Ellington, which is really cool. So you get a little blurb about him, and then, of course, the note breakdown. I'll see if I can put the note breakdowns of each of these on the screen. I'll figure something out. I'm a newbie, guys. I don't know. I'm figuring it out how as I go along. The next one, this is another one. Langston reminded me of a fragrance that I have. Well, I have Jazz Club, and I am reminded of another fragrance I have in my collection, which is Angel's Share by Killian. Yeah, as soon as I sprayed this, I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of Angel Share. Um, but this one has apple. This one actually has an apple note in it, I believe. Let me double check. Probably should have looked before. Yeah, it has caramel apple in it. And Langston is inspired by Langston Hughes. Again, there's these little blurbs, which is really cool. The note breakdown, absolutely stunning. For Josephine, it initially opens with citrusy notes, and I get a slight coconutty feel, and it also has like a sandalwood undertone. And I also get kind of a touch of leather and tobacco. I'll have to take a look at the notes again, but that's what I smell. Now, I'm not saying I have the best sense of smell. I'm just I'm not a perfume, obviously, reviewer. I'm just a collector. But that's what I get. It's very feminine. It's very vintage feeling, but also modern at the same time. It's really, really cool, really, really pretty. It smells like super high class, in my opinion. It's I wouldn't say this is an everyday fragrance. I would say this is more like a date night. Um, it dries down and it has like a slight, almost like a makeup powder, like face powder smell. Just a little bit, not overbearing or anything, but it's really pretty. Honestly, really pretty. And it, again, this lasted all day, and then I could still smell it on my clothes next day. And here's the card for Josephine. I love the picture. Little blurb about her. Very cool. That's Josephine. The last of the fragrances from the Discovery set is Billie, inspired by Billie Holiday. I love her music. This one, I thought, when I first tried it, I thought it was going to be my least favorite. Just because it's very beachy. It reminds me a lot of scents like Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford, or Beach Walk by Replica. Those kind of scents. Not really sunscreeny by any means, but just beachy. I definitely get a lot of coconut. It's beautiful. And again, like I said, these last. This one's the softest out of all of them, but it lasted all day. I could still smell it. And actually, when I smelt this on my clothes the next day, I liked it. I don't know. I think I liked it more on my clothes than on my skin, but I'll have to give it another try. What's wrong? What's wrong? My dog's wanting attention. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? Hi. Anyway, so that's Billie. I really like that one too. I don't know if I'd buy a bottle, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I still have plenty of juice left in my samples, so yeah, I'll give it another go. I think I might try that again in the summer, but it's really pretty, really like clean smelling, really beachy, simple. But yeah, so that is Billie. Thanks everybody for watching this. If you actually came around, I know it's a little awkward at this stage. I just figured I'd get on here and start talking about my special interest, which is fragrance. I've been really into fragrance since I was a young child, since I was a toddler, basically, and I discovered my mom's bottle of Shalimar and dumped it into the bath. That's a story for next time. But yeah, hopefully I get used to this and get over the awkwardness, and I can have more conversations with y'all about perfumes so my husband doesn't have to listen to me yap about it all day. But thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to the next one. Bye.